I need a pop filter for my mic. So here we go again. My hair's a mess. I've been ill for the last week. I've got a box of tissues here. I've got an empty box of tissues with a pencil in it for some reason here. I've got 2 packs of Halls and I'm ready to go. Here we go. My name is Finn and this is my Raspberry Pi. It's 4 gigabytes of RAM in this guy and an ARM Summit chip in it that I don't know what it is. There's heat sinks on all the main chips, so you'll just have to trust me that this is the 4 gigabyte model. It's from 2018, which is surprising. It's got dual USB 3. Oh my god, that's amazing. Dual USB 2, so 4 USB ports in total. Gigabit Ethernet. It's got USB-C. It's got 2 micro HDMI ports capable of outputting 4K output. It's amazing, and it's got audio out and some other stuff. It's a cool device. I used it as my PC for a little bit. It was quite good, to be honest, like for an £80. It was a bit slow compared to like this thing. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to talk about the history of the Raspberry Pi, and that's all we need to talk about. So, good morning, good afternoon, good night. I'm Finn, and this is the history of the Raspberry Pi. Now, as you might already know, the Raspberry Pi is a series of single-board computers, or SBCs. The Raspberry Pi is just an SBC. So they're thought up and made in the UK. And the Raspberry Pi Foundation is, as it turns out, it's a non-profit that specialises in making ARM-based SBCs. Why did I say that with such emphasis on SBCs? I don't know. So, in 2009, the Raspberry Pi Foundation was founded, and they just wanted to make... I can't actually remember. Give me a second. To promote the study of computer science. Okay, and in February of 2012, the OG Raspberry Pi Model B was released, followed by the simpler, cheaper, and most importantly, more squarer Model A. The next to release was the B+, which was released in 2014. I don't know why I put the next to release and then released in 20. It doesn't matter. The B+ was released in 2014, and it was just the Model B, but just plus. And then you had the 2B, the 2B+, the 2A. I think they did a 2A+. Actually, I don't know whether they did a 2A. I'm going to fact check here. Give me a minute. Yeah, so we're going to fact check. R Pi. No. R Pi 2 Model A. They did do... They did not. They did not do a Raspberry Pi 2 model. I am just incredibly confused here. I assume... Yeah, no. So they didn't do a Model 2A, but they did a Model 3A+. So they did the 2 and the 3B, and then the 2 and the 3B+, and then the 3A+. No sense at all. Then obviously the Raspberry Pi 4B was released, and then the Raspberry Pi 5 was released. So there's three main Raspberry Pis. There is the Pi 5, which is like the continuation of the Pi 4 and the Pi 3 and so on. You've got the Pi 02W, yeah, and the Raspberry Pi Pico W, which is just like a microcontroller, and the 0 is like if the main Raspberry Pi and the Pico was smashed together into like one little thing. And to be honest, it's quite a cool idea. You can use it on like your glasses or as a smartwatch, and it's quite small and compact, especially compared to the normal Raspberry Pis. Anyway, yeah, so they've progressed a lot since the original, the OG, going from little hobbyist computers for anyone who wanted to make like a cool project. Like, I think there was this guy, he did a really cool thing with the original one. Not my point. They've gone from little hobbyist computers to full-on, full-fat desktop PCs in keyboards and gaming machines, retro gaming stuff, media servers, anything you want, this thing can do it. And the Pi 5 basically came out with a little bit of backlash because it was just ridiculously expensive. Like, it was like Raspberry Pi 4 scalper prices. My hair looks terrible. Raspberry Pi 4 scalper prices just before the big wave came over, and it was just crazy. But it does make sense that people didn't like that. You know, you can buy a cheap mini PC for the price of a Raspberry Pi 5 with 8 gigs of RAM, and the mini PC will come with 16 gigs of RAM, so you may as well just buy the mini PC. And that's everything we need to know about the history. I think my nose is bleeding. No, it's not. Now we're on to the reasons why I like them. Number one, they're powerful, because for the size of a credit card, this thing just blasts through everything you throw at it. And also, turns out you can throw this. I'm not gonna throw it, but I've thrown it and it works fine still. They're also quite power efficient. There we are. Consuming about 5 or 10 watts when they're being stressed, and like, that's really good for a full-on desktop computer. Number two, they're made inside the UK, according to the little badge. I'll see whether you can see it. I'm just going to put my mic on here. Yeah, see, you can see it there. Made in the UK. Anyway, yeah, so there are better and more powerful options out there, like the Orange Pi, the Rock Pi, the Banana Pi, but I'm British, so I got that bias in me. Number three, they're small. Like I said in my first point, it's the size of a credit card. It's absolutely tiny. I can fit this in my wallet. I don't have my wallet to show you, but if I did, I would show you I can fit this in my wallet. Number four, that's not four, that's four. They're very versatile, and like, I can use this as a PC or a server or an ad blocker or a router. Think of a use for this. It can do it. And finally, number 63. Number 5. It's surprisingly easy to use. Like, if you know a bit about Linux and you put Raspberry Pi OS on here, which used to be called Raspbane, which I think is so much of a better name for an operating system, but I get it. It's surprising how easy this is to learn with a few tutorials. Raspberry Pi OS is almost foolproof, but I did find a way to destroy it, as you do. Now, that is it. That is all you need to know about this thing and all the rest of them. I'll see you next month for another video, and bye-bye. I've also got that dog in me, but that's a story for another day.